Hi, I'm Neil of Team Teacher, teaching, living and raising a family in China. Today, we're looking at the top 10 tips for renting an apartment in China. Let's check it out. Tip number 1, take before pictures and videos before moving into the apartment. In China, you generally have to put down a 2-month security deposit. If you want to make sure that you receive all that deposit back at the end of your contract, you can always document the condition of the apartment before you move in. Make sure to do this with the landlord before you sign the contract so they know you have evidence of the condition of the apartment. 2. Fapiao, your rental tax receipt. If your company you work for offers tax-deductible housing, then be sure that you can get a rental tax receipt called a fapiao from your prospective landlord. Many foreigners in China actually get housing allowance included within their contract. So if you want to take advantage of that, make sure that you have a fapiao tax rental receipt. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay all the tax on it and it's going to be moving you up that tax bracket. 3. Check what utilities you need to pay. What you pay on your utilities varies between apartment complexes. Ask what you will need to pay so you don't get any nasty surprises. Do you have to pay for electric, water, gas, internet, TV, maintenance fees, security of some kind? In addition, make sure to ask the average cost of these. Will you get a receipt and how can you pay these bills? You want to get a receipt to make sure that what they say you pay, you actually have to pay. And you can also keep a record and see previous tenants' receipts so you've got an idea of how much they've been paying on average. Also, you want to make sure you know how to pay the bills and they could set you up with maybe doing it via Alipay or WeChat or transferring by your bank rather than having to hand over cash. 4. Your phone and Wi-Fi reception. So check that you receive good reception throughout the apartment and ask to use the apartment's Wi-Fi to see how strong that is as well in the various rooms. Maybe it will be very strong in the living room, but you do all your phone use and laptop use in the bedroom where it's not that strong. You want to make sure that you can have that good, strong reception. Number 5 is check for signs of water leakage and mold. This is the area where you're most likely to lose money from your deposit. Check for dark patches and other signs that there might be mold developing within your wet areas. So check around the bathroom, the seals, the ventilation, the AC, etc. And also in the kitchen about where you've been cooking, if you've been making soup and there's steam been coming up, etc. Double check that the shower has adequate ventilation for the size of the bathroom as well. 6. Check the water supply. Check the plumbing, check the water pressure, check the heat, check the water tank especially. Double check that all the faucets that you will be using will receive hot water, and have a look at the water system and see if it's up to scratch. Something like this is quite new and has worked great for us, but our previous apartment, the boiler was quite old and we ended up having to have it replaced. So that's something you might want to consider and to ask the landlord about. Number 7 is check the appliances. Check the appliances like the stove, the hood, microwave, oven, fridge. Make sure that they are all in good working order, and also make sure that you can understand how to use them and you are comfortable in doing so, because some of the appliances in China work a little differently to back home. In addition, take note of what appliances are missing and that you may require, and do you have enough space to have those extra gadgets. Number 8 is vermin. Look for signs of vermin. By that I mean rats and cockroaches, mice. Check for traces that they might be around, maybe some traps. Make sure that you look in the nooks and crannies, try and get in the cupboards, etc. And you'll sort of see how clean things are around there and how likely you are to get some vermin or other infestation. 9 is ask about deliveries. So how does the apartment building, in your apartment specifically, receive packages? Do they arrive to an office? Do they go to a hive box? Or are they just left with the gate security? Make sure to consider the security of the packages that are coming to your apartment, and if you are comfortable in receiving them in the way that they are laid out. 10 is south facing. Your apartment, if you have it south facing, will receive a lot more natural light. This is hugely important to Chinese people, so if it's something that you want, expect to pay a little bit extra because everyone wants that. Most importantly is negotiate. Everything is up for negotiation in China. It's expected. Negotiate the length of your contract, the FAPIAO tax receipts, the rental amount, utilities, new furniture, new appliances, and anything else that you might need or want, and see what arrangement you can come to with the landlord. Make sure that everything is up to your grade. Any repairs that are not done are done, and that you have everything you need before you sign the contract, because after you sign that contract and you've moved in, it's going to make things a lot more difficult to get done, as the landlords don't have so much of an incentive to keep you happy because you are locked into the contract. It doesn't sound so great, but sometimes it's how it is here, so just be aware of that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking and subscribing to our channel, as we have plenty more videos like this. Goodbye.